What is going on, fellas? And welcome back to episode 16 of Football Manager 2021, the beta with Atalanta. It is me, FoggyPlays, and today we are going to find out who we're playing in the quarter-final of the Champions League and potentially the semi-finals of the Champions League. This episode will be coming out on the day the full game releases, so if you haven't already bought the game and you're watching this video, there is so many content creators out there who have codes for the game to get either a discount on it or to give money to charity. Like Grey Hair Games, his humble bumble gives money to a charity. Or you've got ClaytsFM, for example, who is taking all the proceeds from the kickback that he gets from people buying the game to a charity for his friend. So if you haven't already bought it, definitely do it, because great game, and there's plenty of fantastic causes out there for different content creators. So make sure to buy off of one of them, because it'll make a massive difference to those creators. So the draw today, we're just going to get into it now. Atletico Madrid, ourselves, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and Man City. Unfortunately, Club Brugge didn't make it through. Got absolutely slapped about the place 5-0 by Chelsea in the second leg. But we're going to find out who we draw today. So I am hoping Atletico Madrid. Is that who we want to get? So Liverpool first out of the hat. So Liverpool will play Atletico Madrid. Okay, so that's our team. Bayern Munich versus Man City. Atalanta, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Barcelona play Chelsea. So in this episode, we are going to have both games against Borussia Dortmund. And if we get through, Liverpool or Atletico Madrid are going to play. Okay, we're playing Liverpool or Atletico Madrid, and then Bayern Munich or Man City will play Barcelona or Chelsea. It should be an interesting couple of games. 2 games, and then we play, fantastic. We play Lazio, who are top of the league, and then Inter, who are 4th, straight after. We also play Lazio in the Italian Cup final. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last episode. But yeah, we're playing Lazio in the Italian Cup final. 2 games left in the season. I don't understand what's going on here. But in this episode will be double Borussia Dortmund with bells on. So hang around for that. We'll see how we get on against Borussia Dortmund. So I know I said we'd be back for Borussia Dortmund, but we have a youth intake. I'm just going to have a little quick look with you to see if any of them are decent. And as you can see, 3-star potential. Not great. Not great. The same top prospect is Wellington, who 16-year-old Ghanaian, who is Italian as well. Okay, so that's fine. It's not going to... I don't know what happens if, like, say, like we have an Argentinian here. If we sign him, does he yeah, he's not get Italian citizenship. So would that mean that he'd be seen as a non-EU player? And there's no one else there. Okay. So Simone de Mayo. So right winger, look, 17 natural fitness. Okay, the guy actually mightn't be too recent. Decent crossing and dribbling. Technique is fine. Determination's okay. Flair is pretty okay. Teamwork is okay. Pace, agility. Morales is the player that we did look at because of his nationality. 17 teamwork. I think he mightn't be the worst player in the world, but I feel like none of these players are going to be that good. Physically, he's quite good. Mentally, 3 determination, he's unambitious. I'm not so sure. Felix Pettersson. Light-hearted personality. Swede. Again, good teamwork. Quite good determination. I'll probably sign the 3-star players just because I can. Fabio Conti, who's a winger / striker. 16 aggression, I like that. Otherwise, he's not really got an awful lot. 7 finishing. Yeah, not so sure. Not so sure any of these guys are going to make it, but I'll just sign them anyway because why not? You know. Let's have a quick look and see. Is there anything in here that we haven't seen? So this is based on Costanzi, who has quite good judging player ability and potential. So he's not an idiot, and he's a perfectionist. So you'd expect him to do better. I'm not so sure. This is not the best youth intake, seeing as how three of the players? Or definitely two of the players from the last youth intake are in the first team. I'm not so sure. But I'll probably sign a couple of them anyway. We're taking on Empoli today, but you're not going to see that. You have to wait for the Borussia Dortmund games. So we'll be back in just a second for that. Don't go anywhere. So it is now time for the Borussia Dortmund games, the quarter final of Champions League. And the games in between that you missed, we beat Empoli 4-1. Fairly simple. And then Bologna 3-0. But as you can see, it took quite a while for us to break them down. Lammers scored in the 68th minute. Odsonne Edouard came off the bench because he's just back from his injury, and he scored a cheeky little brace. So we are going into the game today, lining up like this. We have Lavakovic in goal, Papetti, Sturridge and Romagnoli as our centre-backs, Cruz and Goossens as our wide men, Szoboszlai and Malinovsky as centre midfield, Ilic behind Edouard and Zapata. Lammers has been in decent form recently. I'm just hoping that the two lads who are starting up front today do the business. I gave Dahoud a chance against Bologna and didn't have the best of games, so kind of probably should have done something. But Mike Mannion starts in goal today for Borussia Dortmund. They almost signed Galini, but decided against it. Took Mannion instead. Doesn't seem to be working out all that well, based purely on the fact that they've every now and again I get a news report popping up saying that he's not very good. So happy days. They are starting with Jude Bellingham in the team and Haaland, so could be a little bit on the difficult side. Jadon Sancho again sits on the bench. Joshua Zirkzee has signed for Borussia Dortmund as well. And they have Gio Reyna on the bench. We're going to thrash our arms and say a first leg win could help, but they're not happy with that. So we're going to just point our finger and say, I feel like you could make the difference. Odsonne Edouard, no longer demotivated. Fantastic. Erling Haaland has 23 goals. He's a fine player, but we have players that are good too. He's Philippe Cruz in the last game got man of the match. And they're there going, oh, do you think he's good enough to play in this game? Yeah, he had a good game. If this Mike Mannion knew what I did to Mike Mannion of FM20, I don't think he'd be overly impressed playing against me. So he'd really play up to, annoy me. But thankfully he doesn't know, so hopefully he's going to be terrible. And Mitchelstad, ex-Hertha left back in this world. Mitchelstad, just say it quietly, not a great left back. Gives away a penalty, or what looks like it should be a penalty. What is Lavakovic doing? Lavakovic, go back to your goal, please. So, stepping up to take the penalty, Ilic. I really need to change who takes our penalties. He scored it, which is one of the first penalties he scored this year. Odsonne Edouard. I think I told Edouard that he'd be our penalty taker. So hopefully he doesn't get annoyed by that. But he's been out injured for a while. What I might do is, for the next one, just on the off chance we get another penalty, I'm going to set Edouard to be the penalty taker. Unless Ilic scores again and then we get another penalty. And then it'll be down to Ilic to take that penalty. Because I have it set that if a player has 2 goals and we get a penalty, that person takes the penalty regardless of who it is. So even if Lavakovic somehow managed to score a brace, if we get a penalty, bish bash bosh, he steps up to take it. And we're going to go in at half time, by the looks of it, 1-up, which could not ask for more. This is fantastic. Ilic with the goal that's made the difference. I'm going to pump our fists and say, no, I'm not actually going to. Outstretched arms, no. Point finger, guard against complacency. They've not really reacted the way I was hoping they would, so I'm just going to point my finger at all of them again. Just going to keep pointing fingers. all the fingers. Hey, you do football better than you're doing it, because we're only one up in a game that could be quite important to our season. So we're going to encourage the lads. They're uninterested. I feel like there's a potential for Odson Edward to be taken off, but Malinowski takes a corner. Romagnoli doesn't get there, and Michelstad sort of heads it away. Goosens picks it up. Sabazlai, Edward, Duvan Zapata. Edward, from distance, he's hit the post? Or did Mannion push it onto the post? Either way, it's not worked out all that well for them, and it looks like they've taken Haaland off and brought on Xerxes and Reina. So they've already made 2 of their substitutions. Michelstad not having a great game. I could have told you that was going to happen. He's not very good. Pretty simple. What I'm actually going to do is put Zapata on the right, because he has been decent when he's played on the right. Sabazlai is dying, so we're going to bring on the Ketelere as well. So that's 2 substitutions made in the 70th minute. Just going to see how we get on from here. Ideally, we score a second just to make it ever so slightly. Give me a bit of praise. Okay, they're not delighted as much as I would have hoped they would be. Goosens is tired, and so is Malinowski, but they're playing well. Who do we have? Mikkelsen on the bench. Do we bring Mikkelsen on? Lammers having a meh game. Satula. Don't really need to bring a centre back on. I take off Malinowski. Bring on Pasalic, because Pasalic played a lot of games last year. Kind of falling out of the team this year. And we finish the game 1-0. I'm going to say it now. Yep, 1-0. Okay, that's, fine, acceptable. We did what was necessary of us. We're going to outstretch arms. It was a good win. So we've won the home leg 1-0. Failed to register a shot on target. It's perfect. Ilic, yeah, it was a goal. Barcelona and Chelsea drawing, which is interesting. That's an interesting result. I would have thought Barcelona would have had a little bit more over Chelsea playing at home. Obviously not. And tomorrow, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City. So we'll be back in just a second for the game against Borussia Dortmund, the second leg against Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to play Sassuolo in the meantime. See you guys in... Oh no, actually the league. Actually, how's the league getting on? We are currently top, ahead of Lazio, because Lazio lost a game to AC Milan recently. We've lost so many games this year. We've lost both games to Benevento this year already. Oh, alright, see you guys in just a second. So it is second leg time against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League quarterfinal, and in between beat Sassuolo 3-1. It was decent. We were 2 up. They scored, and then Odson Edward came off the bench and scored again. So I think Odson Edward may be an impact player. We did, however, lose Goosens to an injury, which was less than ideal. But we are jumping into this game with this lineup. Just quick mention for Papetti, who is now a 3.5 star player, who previously was a 2.5 star player. He is an absolute monster. Papetti, if you haven't signed him already, do. He is fantastic. We have also taken a nice little lead in the league with 7 games left, because Juventus beat Lazio in their last game. But we have Livakovic starting goal for us today. Papetti, Sergio, and Romagnoli as our centre backs. Cruz comes in at right back with the Ketelere as our left wing back. Sabazlai and Malinowski in central midfield. Ilic behind Zapata and Lammers. As I said, Goosens is injured for 2 weeks, and ex-Juventus player who I've played like twice is out injured as well. I'm not overly worried about that. The thing that is most important though is the fact that we go into this game with the 1-0 advantage, and we have the opportunity to guarantee a semi-final. And they're starting with Haaland up front again, even though he was very quiet in the last game and got subbed off. Arizo. They keep telling me Arizo is going to be the one that starts, and Arizo does not start, which I think that's not something I saw in FM20 or FM19, where you get like the pre-game, like, oh, this is probably what's going to line up as. The tactic is the same, but Haaland is never the one that's listed as the player who's going to be starting as the striker. So I'm interested. Haaland has been in quite good form, but not good enough to get the Bundesliga title, because Bayern Munich did win it. And interestingly, my boys, Hertha, are sitting in second, and Illich just put his shot wide there. Illich has taken a bit of a drop in form recently. Papetti takes down the ball to Romagnoli, his centre-back partner. Gets across to Felipe Cruz. Is he going to shoot? No, he's going to try and get the ball in, but doesn't. It's just recycled. Papetti back to Felipe Cruz, back to Papetti. Beautiful dink to Duvan Zapata. Felipe Cruz takes a little jaunt down the wing, whips it across, and Jude Bellingham gets rid. Now Take has it. Haaland. Ooh. That did not look like it was going to go in, but thankfully Livakovic put it onto the post, and now Emerson. Okay, so that, for a second I thought when they stopped it was a penalty. It's gone out for a corner, and Take gets it to Zagadou, but Livakovic, safe hands. The Bosley is apprehensive. I'm going to try and fire the lads up. It's not worked. It has not worked at all. Yeah, go on. Papetti, man mark, Haaland. We've had an XG of 0.35 to Borussia Dortmund's 0.2. So it's been a meh game so far. I've told the players I'm not happy. Not really done an awful lot for that many of them. So we're just going to point fingers at people. Just start pointing fingers at everybody. Lammers is having a poor game. So he's potentially on the chopping block, as is De Ketelaere. But I think De Ketelaere is good enough that he can come back from that. Illich is dying. But he's coming back now. He's come back. Okay, Illich is dying again. De Ketelaere with the throw. Whips it long. Mike Mannion actually holds on to this one. It said the weather wasn't great. It doesn't look like it's all that bad. I was expecting it to be like raining. De Ketelaere heads the ball clear. Malinowski to Lammers, whips it across, and Duvan Zapata, his 23rd of the season, finally coming back to life. Lammers, the architect, was Lammers the architect? Was he really the architect? Malinowski, I suppose, yeah, Malinowski had a little bit to do with it, but not the whole lot. It is saying to take Illich off for Pasalic. I may do something similar to that, but just make a couple of changes in that. I was thinking, Haaland has just boshed in the goal. Papetti loses him, and what a wonderful goal by Erling Haaland. Alright, we're going to make a change. Illich is coming off because he is very tired. We're going to bring on Odson Edouard, but we're going to go 3 up top. Going to go 3 complete forwards because they can all do that role very comfortably. De Ketelaere not having a great game. Do I want to bring on Baird? Do I want to bring on Baird? Yeah. Baird is coming on. So our defence stays quite young. But it's fine. I have full faith. Romagnoli not having a great game. That is surprising. Romagnoli is the elder statesman of our back 3. Baird, can he do something? Does get it across, but Zagadou heads it clear. Baird picks up the ball again though. Fighting for his place. Dinks it off Rainer. Lammers back to Baird. Malinowski, Romagnoli, Baird. Or is it Baird? Baird. Oh, cheeky little back heel. Szoboszlai. Mike Mannion gets a touch to it, and was that Lammers put it out? Emerson, Jude Bellingham, back to Emerson. Jude Bellingham. Baird. Oh. That was a disgusting tackle. We got away with it though. Malinowski having a bit of a jog down the wing. Can't get his crossover. That tackle. Baird is just diving into all these tackles and he's getting away with them. That's the most important thing. Edouard gets out to Felipe Cruz, who's run past 2 of them. Edouard. Emerson gets a head to it, take it off the line. Baird. And then Lammers just puts it wide. Jude Bellingham's been taken off from Mounier. That is an interesting change. Szoboszlai is dying, and now they're like, just bring Pasalic on, please. For the love of Jesus, bring Pasalic on. I hear you. I'm bringing Paslic on, but we're going to swap Malinovsky to be the box. Do we want Malinovsky to be in box to box? No, we leave Paslic as box to box. Because otherwise, I think Malinovsky being booked might cause an issue. Edward, beautifully taken down. Oh, what a first touch. Can he finish? Odsonne Edouard always finishes first. Is that what I mean? Yeah. Odsonne Edouard always finishes first. Where's my mouse gone? Beautifully taken down. And he just ran away with it and slots it past Mannion. Mannion. Oh, Malinovsky's picked up a knock. Who can... Edward, you be the man, the myth, the legend. You're going to play as Mizella. Do we swap him? No. I know it's only 5 minutes or 4 minutes to play, but we're going to make Odsonne Edouard box to box because he's a striker. Make Odsonne Edouard box to box midfielder. Sees out the game. We have won. Best performer, Odsonne Edouard, came off the bench and scored. Odsonne Edouard, impact sub. You heard it here first. Romagnoli, 6.4, got absolutely skinned today. But we've won the game, and that is all that matters. Outstretched arms, magnificent lads. Nobody expected it. Except for me. I expected it. I always expect it. And Chelsea beat Barcelona 2-0. Which, delightful. So that means... So we're playing Atletico Madrid in the next round. Man City play Chelsea. So it's definitely going to be an English team in the final because Man City managed to bring back the 2-0 victory over Bayern Munich in the second leg, and Chelsea managed to beat Barcelona 2-0. And we beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1, and Atletico Madrid beat Liverpool on penalties. But we're into the quarterfinal. Malinovsky has fractured his wrist. So we send him to the specialist. I don't know why he was hovering over doctor. I'm not going to send him to a doctor for that. I know what it's like to break your wrist. It is not fun. And yeah, Atletico Madrid in the next round of Champions League games, which brings us close to the Italian Cup final and potentially winning the league. Because as I said, doing the business in the league. 4 points clear. Still 4 points. Not a huge gap, but we see what happens. So next episode will be the games against Atletico Madrid. Potentially, if we can win the league against Citadella, we'll just do the 3 games, or Citadella and Atletico Madrid second leg. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We are away for the first leg, which is exactly what I want. So I will see you guys in the next episode for the games that we're going to be playing. But if you have enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and I will see you in the next one.